Good morning. Today is Thursday. It is the 16th day of Menachem Av. Today, the Alter Rebbe is going to explain. We're holding in the middle of chapter 5 in the Igeret HaKodesh, the holy letters of the Alter Rebbe, and we're talking about the worlds, the spiritual and the physical world, that are being created, and we explained that there is the Yud and the Hey of the name of the Tetragrammaton, the name of the four-letter names of Hashem, and the Yud is the source of the world to come, the spiritual world, and the Hey is the source of this physical world, and we explained it in length in the previous lessons. You can go back to the YouTube videos then and check more. But today the Alter Rebbe is addressing a question and is saying, why do we say that this world is created with the Hey? After all, the Hey, we explained, it refers to Malchus. Malchus is the kingdom, which is the source of all of the worlds, not only the physical world, even the spiritual worlds. And the Alter Rebbe is going to explain something that we talked about 2 days ago already, and that is that there is the body of the letters and there is the spirit, the soul of the letters. If you remember, we gave one example that when you go to a lecture and you hear words, let's say the lecture is in French and you don't speak French, but you hear the words. So you can hear the words, you hear the body of the letters, but you don't hear the message, you don't hear the soul of the letters. And the same thing is, this is the difference between this world, this physical world that Hashem created with a body, with the Hey, as we'll explain that the Hey is the root of all letters, because the Hey is the breath, Ha. And with the breath, every letter, you need this breath. So the sound of the Hey is the sound of the physical, the actual letter, the physical part, the exterior part of the letters. And the Yud represents the inner part because it represents the soul. And as we explained also, that the amazing phenomenon that we are able to speak words, we're able to utter words, this comes from a level which is pre-intellect. Because logically a person, it doesn't come that you don't think how to pronounce a letter and you don't practice how to pronounce a letter with actively thinking about it. It comes from a place which is above, which is pre-intellect. That means that the letters have in them a source which is above intellect, and that allows you to speak. And the same thing in the spiritual sense, there is the source above the logic, and the higher spiritual worlds, they have a connection to that part, that level of the letters, which is the pneumius, the inner part of the letters, the soul of the letters, so to speak. So let's see inside. Says the Alter Rebbe, Ach biur inyan, to explain this concept, Lama amru Rabbeinu zichronam livracha. Why did our sages of blessed memory say, She'olam hazeh davka nivra behei? That specifically this world, this physical world, was created by the letter Hey. Inei Yadua, it is known, Lakol Chachmei Lev, it is known to all of the wise of heart, Ki ribuya oilamois v'ha'ichalais asher ein lehem mispa, concerning the multitude of worlds and eichalot. Eichalot means chambers. It represents the attributes of God in the higher worlds. They call them chambers. Asher ein lahem mispar, that literally they have no numbers, they're innumerable. Kamoisha Kasuv, as it says in the verse, in the Torah it says, Ayesh mispa legdudav. It is written, do his regiments have a number? Question mark. That's how it is written. Meaning the Torah suggests that there is no limit to the regiments, meaning to the groups of Hashem's angels and so on. Ubechol heichal gdud elef alfim v'ribi ravovis malachim. So there is two verses that seem to be contradictory. One place it says, is there a number to his regiment? And then it says, elef alfim v'ribi ravovim. There's thousands upon thousands. So which one is it? And the answer is that there is limits and there is unlimited. There's unlimited regiments, but within each regiment, there is thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands angels. And as the Rebbe explains, that this is because they're created, as we will soon see, they're created from the letters. And the letters, in a sense, God made them in a form which is a limited form. That means there's limited amounts of angels in every chamber and so on. But the chambers itself, there is endless, being that God himself is endless. So that's what it says. We're called heichal v'gedud. In every chamber, every heichal, in every regiment, elef alfin v'ribi revavan, there's thousands, and myriads of myriads, malachim, of angels. V'chein, also, likewise, Naran Chai. What is Naran Chai? It is the 5 levels of the soul. The Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechida. There are 5 levels of each soul. But within each one of those 5 levels, there is Madrega Isle'ein Kates. There is endless levels within each level. And so too, there are numberless levels. In the so many echolis, the chambers in the world of Atzilus. Atzilus is the first world, highest world. Bria, the word of the Atzilus is the word of emanation. Bria is the world of creation, and Yetzirah is the world of formation. So in each world, they have also this endless levels of chambers and so on. Ine, kol ribuim elu, all these hosts of created beings, ribui achar ribui, one multitude beyond another, ad ein kates mamash, to be completely endless, limitless, infinite. Akol nimshach v'nishpa, meribui tzirufei chov beis oisiyos dvar Hashem. All of these levels, all of these angels, all of these chambers, and all of these different levels, they are all created from what? From the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Dvar Hashem, the words of Hashem. And he explains, Hamischalka is gamken letzirufim rabim. These 22 letters, they are also divided into a further combination, endless combinations, ad ein kates v'tachlis mamish, totally without an end. Kemoishe kasu b'sefer Yetzirah, as it is written in the book Yetzirah, Sefer Yetzirah. So it says, Sheva avonim boinois chameshes alofim ve'arboim batim. And says 7 stones build 5,040 houses, meaning words. Meaning that you have in the Sefer Yetzirah, it says we take the combination of the letters. When you have two letters, there is two combinations. You have three letters, then you have six. But it grows rapidly. As you add the letters, you grow rapidly. So by the time you get to seven, you have 7 letters, you have already 5,040 40 words. If you get to 8 letters, it goes, we're talking about in the hundreds of thousands. And then 9 letters, we're talking about in the millions already. So literally it says, Mekan ve'elech, from here and on, tzeva chashoiv, go figure it, masha'ein apeh yochel edaber chulo. It is such numbers that the mouth is unable to express. That's how many combinations you have. And also within these combinations, the letters, there is other ways of tzirufim. There are other methods of calculations that you can take the first letter and the last letter, as we'll soon see. He says, so basically he says all of these creations that exist in this world, the billions and billions of creation, they all come as a result of the way Hashem created them with the combination, this specific combination of the letters. This explains also what we mentioned. We learned this concept in the previous chapter, part of the Tanya, the Peshuta, Yichud ve'emunah. And we explained the Medrash says when God created Adam, the angel said to Hashem, why do we need a human being here? And God said to the angels that this human being is smarter than you. And he put them to the test. And God said to them, let's see. He gave them animals, says, let me see you name the animals. And the angels couldn't figure what the names are. Then he called Adam and he says, name the animals. And he says, yes, this is a shor, this is an ox, this is a chamor, this is a donkey, and so on and so forth. And God says, you see, he's wiser than you. And the question is, what's the big deal? The angels couldn't pick names. Donkey, horse, make up names. What's the big deal? And here the explanation is because the source of every thing, every creature in this world, the source of its life is the Hebrew letters and the perfect combination of the Hebrew letters. And Adam knew exactly when he saw an ox, he didn't see the physical shape of the ox. He saw the energy that makes the ox. And he saw all of this energy, how this energy comes from this particular words, from this combination of these letters. So this is with all of the creatures and the angels, everything together. Continues the Alter Rebbe. But nevertheless, although by the levels and of the malachim, of the angels and the souls, there is all different kinds of souls, all different kinds of levels. The levels are divided into endless divisions, gavoya al gavoya, one surpassing the other. So basically what he's saying is, not only is there endless angels and endless levels, but within the angels themselves, there are different types of angels. Where do they come from? So he explains, Akal nimshach lefi chilukei hatzirufim ve'atmuros be'at bash. All of this, the variations, levels exist because they all came into being according to the tzirufim, the different ways, various level of combinations of the letter substitutions. Be'at bash, aleph is substituted with the aleph is the first letter, is substituted with the tov, which is the last letter. Beis, which is the second letter, is substituted with the shin, which is the second to the last letter, and so on and so forth. We explained this in length And so there's all kind of combination that these letters can be combined. Based on those combinations, they also create different levels of creatures. Ukemoishin is Bible Perikid Beis is explained in the 12th chapter of Shar Ayichud Ve'emunah. Ach derech klal. So all of this, it says, there's many different ways, many different levels, and so on. However, there is one thing in common between all of these spiritual beings. And what is it? It says, Ach derech klal, ine kulam ba'alei chachma v'das v'yodim ezbayram. In a general way, they all possess wisdom and knowledge, and they know their creator. It is interesting, we in the Rambam, the Maimonides writes, not only by the angels, but Maimonides writes that even the sun, the moon, the stars, they also have a soul and they have an understanding in God. They have a knowledge in God, and that is why they go the direction they go as they bow to Hashem, to the Creator. So, mipnei, why do they have this knowledge that they know Hashem? Because their life force stems from the inwards of the letters, as we explained earlier. And this letter and this energy that they get, it comes from the supreme Chokhmah, as mentioned above. However, this lowly world, with the life force founded within it, it is too small to contain and to endure this light and this life force. It is too small to take it from the form of the letters and from the inwardness of the letters. This lowly word is too small to accept this great light, to radiate and diffuse in it without any garment or concealment. As they shine and as they diffuse by the souls and the angels. We are too small. We are not capable of having such a powerful radiation from Hashem, the energy that comes from the inwardness of the letter. What kind of light? Instead, the radiation and diffusion comes and flows to this world. We get from the body of the letters, from the external part of the letters, which is the breath. Like we said before, the breath creates the physical shape of the letters, and the same thing is we're talking about the breath. And this breath is divided into 7 breaths, as the second verse of Koyeles, and it says, Hevel havolim akol hevel havolim oma Koyeles akol havel. It says over there, mentions 7 times Hevel. Hevel means breath, but heavens also means foolishness. That it's all. King Solomon says in the Ecclesiastic that the whole world is Hevel, it's foolishness. In a sense, we can understand it, that it's because Hevel, foolishness, means it conceals the real thing. You don't see the real thing. And Hevel is breath, because breath is the exterior part of the letters. Vehu moitza pi Hashem amislabesh ba'olam hazeh v'chol tzvav lachayoisam. And this is the utterance that it issues forth from Hashem's mouth, which is vested in this world and all of the hosts to animate them. And in them, in this external part of the letters, is vested the form of the letters and speech and thought. And this emanates from his holy attributes and his will and wisdom and so on. and is all utterly incorporated in the blessed Ein Sof, the endless, which is Hashem himself. Meaning that even though we do have only the exterior part of the letters, we only have the body of the letters, nevertheless, within this, it has also concealed the inside, ultimately, until it's connected to Hashem himself. This is what the Ari, Rabbi Yitzchak, said, of blessed memory, Shebechinas chitzonius hakelim, the malchus, the atzilus, that the level of the exterior level, the external aspect of the vessels of the kingdom malchus of atzilus, is behei shel shem Hashem baruch hu, which is indicated in the letter Hey from Hashem, Heim Yodu, this level, this exterior level, went down, Venasu Neshama La'olam Asiyah. And this became a soul to the world of Asiyah. Asiyah is the lowest world. Vechein Kosov Betikunim, and this is what it says in Tikunim, in the Zohar, She'ayud Uba Atzilus Chula, that a Yud, letter Yud, is in Atzilus. Vehei Tatoe Mekanenes Ve'asiyah, and the lower Hey is vest and nest in the world of Asiyah. As we'll see here, this is the chart that has these four worlds. Let me just show it to you. So here we see it. This is the four worlds. The world of Atzilus is connected with the Yud. The Yud is Chachma. The Chachma means wisdom because it is the initial inspiration. This is the Yud. There's a Dat. A Yud is just a Dat, which includes everything, which is, and this represents Atzilus. That over there, everything is nullified. You don't feel the existence of yourself in Atzilus. The world of Atzilus is completely one in just like Chachma is, the wisdom is nullification to Hashem. Then the letter Hey, the first Hey, is the world of Bria, creation, which is in the levels of Sephiros, refers to Sephira of Bina. Bina means understanding. That just when you take the spark, the initial inspiration, and you broaden it, you broaden the concept. This is in the world of Bria. That's where we have the different malachim, different angels there. Then the letter Vav is in the world of Yetzirah, the formation. That the Vav is number 6. That is Chesed, the six emotions from Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. And this is this is something which is talking about the emotional involvement in a plan. And the last letter Hey is Asiyah, the world of action, which is Malchus, the kingship, and this is already building the project. This is the end of today's Tanya Shir, and as Hashem will continue tomorrow morning. Please join us and please share. If anyone has any questions, now is the time to ask questions.